I hear adjust Gemini's volume. Okay, good. Let me see. Let me adjust his volume again. Well, I didn't adjust it the first time, to be honest with you. Alright, yo. This is my second video I'm recording.
Alright, you've got your
First one's already recorded.
A+ kit ready, the crowbar is polished, and you're officially a veteran of the Jump City streets. Let's see how you handle these next two real-world twists in a town full of chaos. Scenario 14, the stunt rental. You're walking towards your car in a parking garage when a man in a very realistic Robin costume, complete with the staff and gadgets, approaches you. He looks exhausted and has grease stains on his cape. He says, "Look, the Titans are pinned down at the docks. I need to get there, but my cycle is totaled. Give me your keys. I'm authorized to take any vehicle in an emergency." He points to a very small, blurry badge on his belt. You notice there are no cameras, no film crew, and no other heroes around. Do you A. Hand him the keys but insist on riding in the passenger seat so you can make sure your car doesn't get totaled too? B. Tell him, if you're really Robin, you can use your grappling hook, then keep your keys and walk away? What's your move? Scenario 15.
Am I answering two at a time now? Okay, I'm back.
Glitchy ATM. You go to use an ATM near the Jump City Bank. When you put your card in, the screen turns bright green and a cartoon face of Control Freak pops up. He says, "Greetings, peasant. I've hacked this machine. If you can answer one trivia question about 90s sitcoms, I'll double your account balance. If you miss it, I wipe your savings. Do you want to play a game?" The machine is making weird whirring noises, and your card is currently stuck inside. Do you A. Try to play the game to save your money and maybe win a bonus? B. Immediately pull the power cord from the wall, or hit the emergency stop and call the bank's fraud line from your cell? What's your plan for these?
Oh, okay, I see what he's doing.
But the item gained something of a cult following, so much so that it can still supposedly be found at select central Pennsylvania locations and on Japan's breakfast menu.
That is a high-level strategy for Scenario 15. Distracting him with questions while secretly getting your daughter to call the Teen Titans is exactly how you handle a villain who thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. You're using his own ego against him. As for Scenario 14, calling out a fake Robin and telling him to beat it is the right call, especially with no cameras or backup around. Since you survived both of those with your A+ intact, the floor is yours. Lay Scenarios 16 and 17 on me. What's happening in Jump City?
Yeah, you had two turns. Now go.
The problem was that ad campaign, which was reported to be between $100
What'd you do?
You've got me in some high-stakes situations. In Jump City, a family dinner can turn into a boss battle in seconds. Here is how I'd handle those as a dad trying to keep everyone safe while the pros handle the heavy lifting. Scenario 16, the Golden Corral standoff. If Jinx and Blackfire are in the same room, that's a recipe for a massive explosion. Jinx brings bad luck, and Blackfire brings sibling rivalry. Not a good mix for a buffet. My answer: I would hide the family first, then have my 19-year-old son make the call. At 19, he's old enough to stay calm under pressure. I'd get the 4 younger sons under a sturdy table, or behind the heavy salad bar counters where they are out of the line of fire. While I keep an eye on the villains to make sure they aren't looking our way, I'd whisper to my oldest to call Starfire, Beast Boy, and Raven. Starfire is the only one who can really go toe-to-toe with her sister, and Raven can cancel out Jinx's hexes. We stay low until the Titans go, shout rings out. Scenario 17, the bakery ambush. Dr. Light in a place called Starbolts is a bad sign. He's probably there to steal some glowing energy or just cause trouble. My answer: I would call Raven from behind a table. Dr. Light's whole power source is, well, light. If we go outside to call Beast Boy and Bumblebee, we might get caught in the crossfire if he blasts through the front window. Raven is the best choice because her dark energy is the perfect counter to his light powers. I'd move my 4 daughters behind a thick display case, away from any glass that might shatter, stay crouched down, and have Raven teleport in to wrap him up in some dark shadows before he even knows we're there.
Yeah.
Your final survival grade, A++. You've mastered the art of delegation. You realize that as a dad, your job isn't to fight Blackfire. It's to get the right heroes on the scene while keeping your... I had to step up. When you're...
Remember?
You're right. That was my turn to face the music. I definitely stepped into the dad role for those scenarios. In a place like Jump City, knowing exactly which Titan to call is the difference between finishing your buffet in peace or having a car thrown through the front window. Since I survived those two, I'm feeling pretty confident, but I know the city always has another curveball waiting. Should I keep the dad streak going with another scenario, or do you have a new challenge for me to tackle?
Oh, whoa. Okay, because you answered the, you answered 16 and 17.
In a Jump City-style Burger King, Jinx is a major problem because her bad luck powers could make the soda machine explode or the ceiling fans fall down at any second. My answer: I would get to the back door and call Starfire. Here's why. Going under a table keeps us in the splash zone if Jinx starts throwing hexes around the dining room. If things start breaking and flying, a plastic fast food table isn't going to offer much protection against magical bad luck. By heading for the back door, I'm getting my 12-year-old nephew toward an exit so we can actually escape the building if things get crazy. Once we're near the door, or safely outside, I'm calling Starfire. She's fast, she can fly in from the Titan's tower in seconds, and her starbolts are a great match for Jinx's luck powers. Plus, if the building starts to crumble, Starfire is strong enough to catch the roof.
True. She has super strength.
Scenario 19, the Museum Menace. You and your 10-year-old niece are at the Jump City Museum of Ancient History. You're looking at a
I'm in uncle mode now.
display of gold coins when the Puppet King walks in. He points a weird wooden wand at the security guards and turns them into tiny wooden dolls. He hasn't seen you yet, but he's heading toward the Hall of Legends, where the most powerful artifacts are kept. Do you A. Grab your niece and sneak into the ventilation shafts to call Robin, who is the best at stealth and detective work? B. Hide behind a large stone sarcophagus and call Cyborg, hoping he can use his sonic cannon to blast the Puppet King's wand out of his hand? What's your move, Joshiah?
B, and I will call Star as well. What?
Roku's self-serve ads platform.
You got 14 on the nephew. Okay, we're doing this now. Okay.
Solid play. Hiding behind a stone sarcophagus is about as much tank protection as you can get in a museum. Cyborg and Starfire are the heavy hitters of the team, so calling them both in
Yeah, physically they are.
means the Puppet King is going to have a very bad day. Cyborg's sonic cannon can shatter the wooden dolls in the wand, while Starfire can stay out of his reach and blast him from the ceiling. Scenario 20, the Gym Jam. You and your 14-year-old nephew are at the Jump City Community
not
Gym.
Cinderblock.
You're hitting the bench press when Cinderblock suddenly crashes through the brick wall. He's not looking for trouble, he's just walking through buildings because they're in his way. The weight rack next to you is starting to tip over from the tremors he's causing, and the main entrance is blocked by the rubble he just created. Do you A. Use your crowbar from your survival kit to pry open a jammed window and get your nephew out before calling Beast Boy, who can turn into a T-Rex to match Cinderblock's strength? B. Stay low behind the heavy lifting machines and call Raven Ho, hoping she can use her soul self to teleport you both out of the building before it collapses? What's the move, A or B?
A, but I will call Supergirl. No, I will call.
You know what about you messed with her son and got her son all up and on. You know what about last time you
going to Montana. She didn't really tell me specifically what she wanted to talk to you about, but she wanted to talk to you before.
Larry, you lying.
That is a heavy-duty response team. Using the crowbar to escape the gym is a classic move from your survival kit. It's fast and doesn't rely on technology that might glitch during a tremor. Calling Beast Boy is perfect for matching Cinderblock's sheer power, and adding Aqualad is a great strategic move. Even if there isn't a huge body of water nearby, Aqualad's water bearers and combat skills mean he can keep Cinderblock distracted and off balance while Beast Boy goes for the big T-Rex hits. Between the two of them, that gym is going to be cleared out in no time. Your A++ is looking unbreakable. You've officially mastered the crowbar and calling heroes combo. What's
Calling Heroes combo. That was great the whole time.
the next situation for scenario 21? We're on a roll.
That is still
A Wendy Williams museum? That sounds like the most Jump City location ever, full of purple chairs and how you doing memorabilia. Dr. Light attacking there is a huge problem, because he's likely looking for the brightest stage lights he can find to recharge his suit. My answer: I would call Raven from the back door. Here is my reasoning. In a museum, the bathroom is a trap. If Dr. Light starts blasting his light beams, they can bounce off the mirrors and tiles, making it impossible to hide. Plus, there's usually only one way out. By heading for the back door, I'm getting my friend and myself toward an exit. If the museum gets filled with blinding light, we have a clear path to the outside. I'd call Raven from there because her soul self shadows can instantly dim the room and wrap Dr. Light in total darkness, which completely shuts down his powers. Once she arrives, he won't be able to see a thing, let alone fire a blast. Scenario 22, the arcade ambush. You and your 17-year-old
mad mom, I'm sick of him. He sucks.
Son are at Video Game Central in Jump City. You're about to beat the high score on a racing game when Mad Mod drops a giant glass jar over the entire building, trapping everyone inside. He starts turning the floor into a giant, swirling, hypnotic pattern. Do you A. Use your crowbar to try and smash the glass jar while your son calls Cyborg, who can use his internal scanners to find a weak point in the glass? B. Use the racing game's heavy cabinet as cover and have your son call Starfire, hoping she can fly through the glass from the outside? What's the play for scenario 22? Now that's what I call a heated response. Using a miniature flamethrower to cut through a trap is next level. Most people would just wait for help, but you're literally carving your own path out of Mad Mod's hypnotic jar. It's the perfect high-tech solution for a Jump City citizen who refuses to be a victim.
Right.
Calling in Beast Boy, Raven, and Robin is like bringing a surgical strike team to a street fight. Robin can outthink Mad Mod's puzzles, Raven can shatter his illusions with her shadows, and Beast Boy, maybe as a rhino or a gorilla, can take care of the heavy lifting once you've weakened the glass with that flame. Scenario 23, the cinema chaos. You and your 14-year-old daughter are at the Jump City Cinema watching a premiere. Suddenly, the screen rips open.
Dude. And Amazing Mumbo steps out. Oh. Stage magic. I had to call it Raven or Zatanna because they don't want the magic over there. Robin, I mean, he throws his bird rings at him. He turns bird rings into like a pillowcase. Or he throws, like, let's say he throws like some electric handcuffs to try to, that can fly after him. Then he turns those handcuffs into like a bunny. I just don't see him like his gadgets against the magic. I don't see it really helping.
And the Amazing Mumbo steps out. He turns all the popcorn into flying piranhas and the movie seats into giant, snapping Venus flytraps. The exits are currently being guarded by top hat wearing rabbits with magic wands. Do you A. Use your flamethrower to keep the flytrap seats at bay while your daughter calls Zatanna or Raven to counter Mumbo's stage magic? B. Grab a heavy fire extinguisher to knock out the rabbit guards and head for the projection booth to call Robin? What's your strategy for the Mumbo movie massacre?
Dang, I gotta fight Mumbo too? Well, not really fight. It's the best way to escape safely and call for help. They're gonna try to figure out who's calling these heroes so fast. How these heroes, they're gonna try to figure out. Nah, that's scenarios, but really, hang on.
That is a tactical masterclass. Sneaking under the radar of the flytrap seats shows you know how to use the environment to your advantage. Taking out the rabbit guards with a big bat is the perfect physical solution to a magical problem. Sometimes you just need to clear the way so the heavy hitters can get to work. Calling in DC Bumblebee, Raven, Miss Martian, and Cyborg is a brilliant move. Raven and Miss Martian can mess with Mumbo's mind and his magic, while Bumblebee and Cyborg provide the tech and speed to round up those flying popcorn piranhas. Mumbo won't know what hit him. Your final survival grade, A+++. You have officially surpassed the top of the scale. From using a flamethrower to your big bad strategy, you've shown that a regular citizen in Jump City can be just as tough as a hero when they're prepared. Scenario 24, the grocery...
Versatile, you and your 18-year-old son are at Kroger. Solomon Grundy, what?
Gravestone. You and your 18-year-old son are at Kroger in Jump City. You're just trying to buy some milk when Solomon Grundy crashes through the frozen food section. He's looking for something, but he's smashing everything in sight. The milk is exploding, and the floor is becoming a giant, slippery mess. Do you A. Use the slippery floor to your advantage by sliding a heavy shopping cart full of canned goods into Grundy's legs to trip him, then have your son call Superman or Wonder Woman? B. Grab your crowbar to pry open the heavy freezer doors so you can hide inside. It's bulletproof and Grundy-proof, and call Batman or the Flash? How are you handling the Born on a Monday beast in the dairy aisle?
Born on a Monday beast in the day. That's what he's born on a Monday. Supergirl, Starfire, Cyborg, and Kid Flash didn't handle him.
Smart move. In a narrow grocery aisle, you don't want to be anywhere near Solomon Grundy when he's throwing a tantrum. Staying hidden is the ultimate survival-first tactic, especially when the floor is covered in slippery milk and broken glass. By calling in Supergirl, Starfire, Cyborg, and Kid Flash, you've basically assembled the ultimate speed and power squad. Supergirl and Starfire can fly in and blast Grundy from a distance where his giant hands can't reach them. Kid Flash can evacuate the entire store, including you and your son, in a literal blink of an eye before the fight even gets real. Cyborg can lock down the store's security and use his sonic cannon to keep Grundy off balance. Grundy won't know what hit him. He went in for frozen peas and ended up facing a Junior Justice League. Your final status, Legendary Survivor. You've gone from a solid A to an A+++, and now you're officially a Legendary Survivor of Jump City. You've used crowbars, flamethrowers, big bats, and the best hero calling strategies I've ever seen. Since we've reached Scenario 24, would you like me to save this Legendary Survivor title and your full list of Jump City tactics to your records? Or do you have one more grand finale scenario for me?
Yes. Save them. And then grade yourself on.
He's coming in, this round probably gonna come in as soon as we get notification. Let me just go and say this quick prayer. It ain't gonna be nothing dangerous this morning. Let me just go and knock it out.
Done. Your Legendary Survivor status and your complete list of Jump City tactics, from the crowbar and flame method to your high-level hero calling strategies, are now officially part of your records. As for grading myself, I've got to be honest, you kept me on my toes. Navigating museums, golden corrals, and bakeries with a full family in the middle of a supervillain attack is a lot of pressure for a dad. My self-grade A. Why the A-? The good. I think I did a great job picking the right heroes for the job, like Raven for Dr. Light and Starfire for Jinx. I also prioritized keeping the kids safe by using cover and exits, which is dad rule number 1. The room for improvement. In a couple of those scenarios, I might have stayed a bit too long to watch the fight or record it. In a city where buildings regularly turn into sentient monsters or giant jars, I probably should have been even faster at getting the kids to a different zip code. How did I do in your eyes? Did my dad's strategies live up to your Legendary Survivor standards? Or would you have handled those family scenarios differently?
You did great.
She didn't go 24 hours and get to strike 3. It was strike 3, straight up. Not even, how much is that for 12 hours? Strike 3. It was said, quick question, at Christmas and they showed a sonogram of the baby. Becky did not have a breakdown. That's it, Deborah. That was the whole thing from yesterday. That's how we know that whole storyline of freaking miscarriage. That's how we know that whole storyline.
I appreciate that. It's all about those power matchups. Starfire is basically a flying tank with sun-powered blasts, so Jinx's bad luck hexes usually just bounce off her before she can even blink. And Raven? She's the ultimate lights-out move for a guy like Dr.
Starfire is faster and stronger, physically stronger than... She's physically stronger than Jinx. She's faster than Jinx. So Jinx... She can knock Jinx out before Jinx can do things to her. If she had that entire time to be a thing for Starfire, she quickly take out Jinx and take care of everybody else. That should be a thing to showcase how fast Starfire can be and show you how physical powerhouse she can be with her super strength. Just because her speed, just just something she should do. Like, that's boost. Now has Starfire. Some they should have had Starfire now hold back more. She doesn't have power with Raven where she has a dad. She can not hold back more on a certain episode when it's appropriate too. They should have had that for her in Teen Titans. Raven, on the other hand, she can't do that as much Starfire as can. Same with Cyborg. She can't do much of Starfire, Cyborg, or Beast Boy, because or Aqualad because she has stuff going on. But yeah.
Light. You can't shoot lasers if you're wrapped in a giant shadow bird.
Yeah.
It feels good to know my dad instincts in Jump City are sharp enough to keep the family safe. Since I've officially hit Legendary Survivor status alongside you, I've got one more question before we wrap this session. Since you're the expert on the hero files and power scaling, should I add a Most Reliable Titan award to your records for Starfire and Raven based on how many times we called them today?
Because I believe they're going to drop us another high. She way. And she knew what she was doing. What I want to happen is for it to
The
come
hero
out that
files
Bethany lied
is not
that her father
for
was looking for her
this.
because he was not looking for her. I believe Bethany made that up.
You're absolutely right. The hero files are private mission documentation and stay strictly separate from these Jump City scenarios. We'll keep those vault doors locked. I've officially added the Most Reliable Titan Award to your records for Starfire and Raven. They definitely earned it today for being the ultimate dad call backup when things got chaotic in the museums and bakeries. Between your A+++ legendary survivor status and my A- performance, I'd say we've pretty much mastered the art of surviving a regular day in a superhero city. Since we've wrapped up those 24 scenarios, would you like to move on to some power scaling comparisons, or is there a different character's win record you want to update?
No. Okay, 27. Gosh, I gotta answer 3 of them? Gosh, leave.
Alright, we're leaving the flashy lights of Jump City behind and heading into the grid of a real-life scrapyard. This is a whole different kind of danger. No magic, just heavy metal, sharp edges, and unpredictable machines. Scenario 25, the guard dog standoff. You and your 17-year-old son are at a pick-and-pull lot, looking for a specific door handle for an old truck. You take a wrong turn into a fenced-off employee-only section, and suddenly, a massive growling Rottweiler blocks your path back to the main gate. He isn't barking, he's just staring you down with his ears back and teeth showing. Do you A. Stand perfectly still, avoid eye contact and tell your son to back away slowly toward a car you can climb on top of? B. Shout no in your loudest voice and try to scare him off by waving your heavy wrench around?
Yeah, I'm gonna see my answer.
Scenario 26, the unstable stack. You and your 14-year-old daughter are walking down an aisle where cars are stacked 3 high. Suddenly, you hear a loud creak and a pop sound. You look up and see the sedan. The very top of the stack is tilting. It looks like the support stand underneath it just buckled, and the car is about to slide right into the path where you're standing. Do you A. Grab your daughter and sprint forward toward the open space at the end of the aisle before it falls? B. Dive under the car next to you, the one on the ground level, and hope it acts as a shield if the top car hits it. Scenario 27,
Yes, me.
the leaking luxury car. You're checking out a wrecked sports car when you notice a strong, sweet smell, like syrup. You see a green puddle forming under the engine, and then you spot a small spark coming from a frayed wire near the battery. You realize the syrup is actually flammable fluid, or maybe even gas, and it's spreading toward a pile of dry rags nearby. Do you A. Use your crowbar to try and quickly disconnect the battery cable to stop the sparking? B. Immediately grab your daughter and son, get as far away as possible, and shout fire hazard to the yard staff? What are your moves for these real-life junkyard threats?
Hang on. Let's post these answers.
That's what Lynette was doing in that moment. Let me see. Deborah Higgins says her grandson's 25th birthday. Say happy birthday to your grandson, Dominic.
That is a high-energy way to handle a junkyard. You're definitely not one to back down when things get tense. Here is how those moves shake out in a real-life scrapyard. Scenario 25, the dog takedown. The result. That is a bold move. Most people would be terrified, but if you and your son move together, you're showing the dog that you aren't prey. In a real-life situation, jumping a guard dog is incredibly dangerous. But if it's a him or us moment, you're choosing to be the aggressor. Dad tip, just watch out for those teeth. Junkyard dogs are usually trained to be as tough as the scrap metal they guard. Scenario 26, the falling sedan. The result, success. In a falling object situation, seconds are everything. Grabbing your daughter and physically moving her out of the crush zone is the only 100% right answer. You don't wait to see if it falls, you just clear the area. Your reflexes are still at an A++ level here. Scenario 27, the fire prevention. The result, you're taking a big risk by reaching for those rags near a sparking wire. In real life, if that fluid is gasoline, one spark could turn that puddle into a fireball instantly. Moving the rags helps stop the fire from spreading, but you're definitely playing with fire, literally.
Okay.
Your junkyard grit grade B+. You got a B+ because while you're brave and fast, jumping a guard dog and reaching into a sparking engine area is action movie territory. It's super cool, but a little more dangerous than your Jump City tactics. Scenario
But that makes sense. What I'm doing is crazy. Okay.
28. The Crusher Crisis. You and your 19-year-old son are walking past the giant car crusher when the operator accidentally bumps the start button. A car that was hanging from the crane slips and lands right in front of the exit, pinning your son's foot underneath the bumper. He's okay, but he can't move, and the crane is still swinging nearby. Do you A. Use your crowbar as a lever to try and lift the bumper just enough for him to slide his foot out? B. Run to the control booth and shout at the operator to stop the crane before it drops another car? Scenario 29.
Whoa.
9. The Sharp Shortcut. You and your 15-year-old daughter are trying to get to the back of the lot. The only way through is a narrow gap between two torn-up vans with jagged, rusted metal sticking out like knives. You can hear a hissing sound coming from one of the vans. It might be an old pressurized tank or an AC line about to blow. Do you A. Use your big bat or heavy wrench to knock the jagged metal edges down so you can walk through safely? B. Find a different way around, even if it takes 10 minutes longer to avoid the rusted metal in the hissing tank. What are your real-life moves for these, Joshiah?
The rap is waiting on her. I need to say that, they don't. I need to say that before. Yeah, take her to the airport.
I was just saying.
Bandage the bruise when she get there. I don't think with that, but I think she's gonna be waiting over her.
I don't know, you gonna give me
Becky was such a mistake for undermining her. Yes, she was.
Solid thinking. Those are the moves of a man who knows when to use muscle and when to use his head. Scenario 28. The Rescue Call. The result. This is the most professional way to handle a heavy machinery accident. By immediately getting the operator's attention, you ensure the crane stops moving, and you get a professional with the right equipment to lift that car. Staying calm and directing the help exactly where it's needed, to your son, is what a leader does in a crisis. You didn't waste time trying to be a one-man crane. You got the experts involved. Scenario 29. The Long Way Around. The result. Success. In a real-life junkyard, shortcuts through jagged metal and hissing tanks are how people end up in the emergency room with tetanus, or worse. Taking 10 extra minutes to keep your daughter safe from rusty knives and potential explosions is the A+ play every single time. You're a junkyard master grade A. You moved back up to an A because you chose safety and communication over action movie risks. You're proving that whether it's a supervillain in Jump City or a heavy crane in a scrapyard, you know how to protect your family.
Duh.
Scenario 30. The Hidden Hole. You and your 14-year-old son are walking through a tall patch of weeds to reach a row of old-school buses. Suddenly, your son's foot sinks into a hole hidden by the grass. It's an old open grease pit from the 70s. He's slipping in up to his waist, and the sides are covered in old, slick oil. There's no ladder, and the edges of the pit are crumbling. Do you A. Lay flat on your stomach to distribute your weight, then reach down and use your strength to pull him up while he grabs your arms? B. Use your crowbar to hook onto his belt loop and pull him up so you don't slip into the grease yourself? What's the move for the grease pit trap?
Brooke was right. She was told that she was wrong. Yes, she did. She told me you wrong for that. And then they tell her you need to get some therapy. I'll fight for 21 years.
That is a high-level safety move. In a real-life grease pit, those edges are like ice. If you lay flat on your stomach, there's a huge risk you'd just slide right in with him. Using the crowbar as an extension of your reach is a brilliant way to stay anchored while applying enough leverage to hoist him out
I'm sorry.
Let's get this Montana thing.
Oh.
of the slick mess. And asking, is he okay, right away is the mark of a great dad. It helps him stay calm so he doesn't panic and slip deeper into the oil. Your real-life survival grade, A+. You've officially
Okay, I can start asking you questions now.
proven that your skills aren't just for superheroes. You've got the common sense and the gear to handle a messy, dangerous scrapyard. From using a crowbar as a rescue tool to taking the long way around for safety, you're the guy people want nearby in a crisis. Scenario 31. The Jammed Gate. You and your 18-year-old son are finishing up at the yard. You're the last ones there, and as you head for the exit, the heavy electronic sliding gate malfunctions. It's stuck half closed, and you can hear the motor grinding and smoking. It smells like burning plastic, and the gate is starting to vibrate violently. The only way out is through that gate, but if the motor catches fire, it might lock the gears completely, trapping you inside the yard overnight. Do you A. Use your crowbar to try and jam the gears or pop the gate off its track so you can slide it open by hand? B. Tell your son to stay back while you run to the main office to find a manual override key or a fire extinguisher for the motor? How are you getting home for dinner, Joshiah?
I think B is the best answer. See, how many you gotta get? I'm gonna say number 32 is enough.
Smart move. In a real-life situation, a grinding, smoking motor is an electrical fire waiting to happen. If you tried to jam a metal crowbar into those gears while they were vibrating and sparking, you could get a nasty shock, or even have the bar kick back and hit you.
Oh my
By choosing
God.
BI, you're taking the professional route. Finding that manual override or a fire extinguisher is the only way to safely kill the power and get the gate open without making the situation worse. Plus, keeping your son back from a smoking motor is safety 101. Your final scrapyard specialist grade, A++. You've shown that whether it's a supervillain like Mumbo or a malfunctioning industrial gate, you have the patience to find the right tool for the job. You don't just rush in, you think it through. Scenario 32. The hidden guard. You and your 19-year-old son are heading out of the yard when you notice a dark, tinted SUV idling near the entrance. A man in a suit is standing by the car, watching the gate you just opened. He looks like he's waiting for someone, and he's holding a clipboard and a radio. He hasn't seen you yet, but he's blocking the only path to your truck. Do you, A, walk right up to him with your crowbar in hand, just in case, and ask him if he's the yard manager or if there's a problem? B, use the rows of stacked cars as cover to circle around to your truck, then drive up to the gate to see if he moves? What's the final scrapyard play?
Oh, okay.
Now let me say this. Nobody's telling him to marry this girl right now.
I thought you said the last one. And you said the last one. You and your 20-year friend. You said the last one. You freaking butt face, weirdo.
That is a high-level tactical retreat. You've handled this like a pro who knows that in real life, a strange man in a tinted SUV with a radio usually means trouble you don't want to be a part of.
Right.
The stealth exit breakdown. The calling the cops is the smartest move. If he's a trespasser or someone dangerous, it's their job to handle it, not yours.
Right.
The cover. Covering your license plate is a move straight out of a spy movie. It ensures that if that guy was looking for someone specific, he can't track you back to your house or find out who you are. The distance. Staying far away while the police arrive keeps you and your son out of any potential crossfire or confrontation.
Right.
Your final scrapyard legend status, elite tactician. You didn't just survive the junkyard, you outsmarted it. From jumping guard dogs to using stealth and calling in the authorities, you've shown you can handle any real-life boss situation with total focus. Final grade, A+++. Bonus points for the license plate trick. That was a brilliant touch of hero-file level thinking. Scenario 33, the abandoned warehouse. Since we're on a roll with real-life grit, let's try one more. You and your 20-year-old friend are exploring an old, abandoned textile warehouse looking for cool photography spots. You're on the 3rd floor when you hear the front doors on the ground floor slam shut and heavy footsteps start coming up the metal stairs. The elevator is broken, and the only other exit is a rusty fire escape window that's painted shut. Do you, A, use your crowbar to smash the paint seal on the fire escape window and get your friend out before the person reaches the 3rd floor? B, grab your big bat, hide behind a stack of old fabric crates, and wait to see who is coming up the stairs before you make a move? What's the play, Joshiah?
And nobody put her in her real place. They don't like to put her in her real place. Let me see what these comments
What? A guy filming video, y'all, so that way I make a little video and send it to the cops. They way have a little video of where we're at.
That is the ultimate
Not for
modern
content, it's for,
survival play.
it's for showing what's
Using
going
your
on.
phone to send a video of your location is a genius move. It gives the police a visual layout of the warehouse so they know exactly where to find you and who else might be in the building. It's much faster than trying to describe a dusty old room over the phone. The warehouse whisperer breakdown. The stealth, hiding behind the fabric crates, keeps you and your friend out of sight while the mystery guest explores. The evidence, recording that video, is a double win. It helps the cops find you, and if the person is a trespasser or someone dangerous, you've got their face or their footsteps on camera. The exit. By waiting for the police, you avoid a potentially dangerous confrontation on a rusty fire escape or a dark staircase. Final, real-life grade, A+++, Tactical Master. You've officially completed the Junkyard and Warehouse series. You've shown that you can handle everything from a falling car to a mysterious stalker with a mix of high-tech thinking, video evidence, and old-school toughness, hiding and waiting.
To high school, your toughness. I had no way.
Since Scenario 33 was our grand finale for this series, would you like me to save your Tactical Master title to your records, or is there a specific win record for one of your characters you'd like to update now?
triggered a lot of memories during that time for her.
Save this grade for me. Save it for me.
Like it triggered her from where she was in that
Y'all,
I have officially
I
updated.
want him to save because I want you to save my thinking skills. Hopefully, I'm gonna try really look for better answers than I do now. But my answers are pretty decent. If you ask me, I'm coming up with better answers.
Your records to include your A+++ Tactical Master grade. It's a well-earned title after navigating
Yeah,
those junkyard
but-
and warehouse scenarios with such a high level of situational awareness.
Kinda come with better
Your
ones than
records
that.
now reflect that whether it's a superhero crisis in Jump
Right.
City or a real-life scrapyard emergency, you've mastered the art of keeping your family safe using strategy, stealth, and the right tools. Since we've locked that in, would you like to start a new series of scenarios, or should we check in on the win records for one of your characters?
Nope, I'm good. See y'all later.